So I've said in a few project updates recently that progress hasn't been the absolute best thing in the world, and that is for two reasons. Reason number one is I was really poorly at the start of this month, as I am now. Great. But the start of this month, I had really bad insomnia for about 2 to 3 weeks. So I was not putting makeup on barely at all, just because I was so tired. I was sleeping like 2 to 3 hours a night. And then I went on holiday to Seville, and I purposely only took makeup that I was not project panning because I wanted to get away from the grind of things. I wanted to get away from just like progress and project panning. And to be honest, it did a whole lot of good for me. However, I do have one pan to share with you today. If you remember last month's update, you probably already know which pan it's gonna be because we had an eyeshadow last month that was so close to having pan on it, and I'm so excited to share it with you guys today. So just before we do jump into the video, if you have not already, like and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I really think that we can do it. We're edging closer and closer every single day, and honestly it just makes me so unbelievably happy to sit here and say we're nearly at 5k. There's big things coming on this channel very soon. I'm working a hell of a lot behind the scenes, and I really hope that you guys can see what is happening very soon. But let's jump into this update. I'm very excited. We had a really cool color story last month, and I'm kind of wearing a very similar kind of thing today on my eyes. I'm trying to use a few of the shades, and I'm so excited to update them. So without further ado, let's jump in to some progress. So as usual, I'm going to go from newest shade to oldest shade to try and keep some suspense, but do keep in mind that the uses are a little bit lower in this update because of what I've just said in the intro. So the first shade that I am going to talk about today, this was a hand-chosen shade, so I have different kind of categories of eyeshadow in this video, which I will talk about later on. This is from the P. Louise Stack 'em Up palette, and it is the Talk is Cheap blue version, and I was working on the shade Get Up and Grind, which is the super beautiful inner corner iridescent-y kind of blue shade, and I've absolutely loved this as an inner corner, as an all over the lid with some greens or some blues. It has been absolutely beautiful. This is what it looks like today. I'm really hoping that you're going to be able to see some kind of use on this. I have been using a very precise brush, so that means that pan is probably not too far away, which is absolutely amazing news. I've fallen in love with this. I love this so much. I am wearing it on the inner corner of today's look. I just think it's so beautiful. I always love these like iridescent-y kind of blue, flippy, shifty shades. I don't know. It's super sparkly. It's quite subtle when the light isn't hitting it, but when the light is hitting it, it just looks so stunning and blue and vibrant. You guys know blue is my happy color. I love blue so much. And it also goes with greens as I am wearing it today. And I've just really enjoyed it. It's got a kind of warmth to it as well. It's just really unique, really stunning. I guess I can use this as a highlight as well. I haven't done that yet, but I think we've made really good progress on this. I can definitely see a dip on this forming, and I don't think it's going to take too long to hit pan on this. 3 uses, not the best in the world, but like I said, it's fine. I'm letting myself off this month. This is definitely a chill month this month because it's been crazy. I don't know if you can tell, but I am actually ill again. I don't know what has been wrong with me this month, but I am full of a cold right now. Like I feel like I'm underwater as I'm speaking to you, so I'm hoping that my voice isn't too off-putting, but I've really enjoyed this. I'm very excited to keep using it. I want to use it with some of these other shades as well. I think that I can get really good use on this in the coming month. Very excited, but unfortunately, only 3 uses, no pan, but that's fine. So I decided to roll in a focus palette quite a few months ago now, and I decided that the Carnival XL Pro would be my focus palette because I absolutely adore this thing. It's huge and it's getting a little bit old, so if I can hit as many pans as humanly possible in this, then that is all good. That is a win-win for me. So I hand chose this shade last month to roll in and to try and hit pan on. It's the shade Fade, and as you can see, it is a really, really beautiful taupey shade. It's kind of cool tone, but I've absolutely loved working on it. If I'm gonna wear neutrals, these are the type of shades that I really gravitate towards, and I was so excited to roll this into the project because I already knew that I was gonna absolutely love it. And this is what it looks like today. We have hit pan on this. When I rolled this in last month, it had a massive dip in it because I had used it quite a lot for frankening, so I really didn't think that that was gonna be a big deal at all. I really didn't think that I'd be hung up using this forever, and I definitely haven't been. Here we go. So now we have a pan here and an empty shade here as well. This half of the palette is looking so used and abused. This side, not so much, but I am definitely more of a cool tone person. I love how this palette is looking now. I keep getting more and more pans in it. I keep getting even more excited to use it. I just love this thing so much. So of course, I'm gonna swatch the shade Fade, and that is what that one looks like. A little bit more of a boring shade. I do love my bright, fun, colorful makeup here on this channel, but these shades as well have my heart and soul. When I'm just going into the office or when I need to tone it down a little bit, these kind of shades, just, I love them so much. Very reminiscent of the That's Taupe palette that I rolled in as my new Pan That palette. So yeah, very, very excited. It went really, really well with the That's Taupe as well. So unbelievably excited to have another pan, and that means that I will be hand choosing another shade from this palette at the end of the video to be my new focus shade and to try and hit pan on as well. So stay tuned because you do not want to miss that. I think I already know what I want to roll in, but yeah, you gotta stay tuned because it's a mystery right now. I've used that 4 times and it was rolled in last month, so 4 uses in total. I'm not sure if I already said that or not, but there you go, 4 uses. And I thought these two went really, really well as well. I love blue and taupe. It's one of my favorite color stories. And I am actually using Fade as a last transition on this look today. So it's gone really well with color as well as neutrals. Absolutely love it. Let's move on to the next shade. Okay, so this shade was something that I actually forgot about. Whoops. If you guys don't know, I actually moved into a brand new filming studio this month, and that means obviously I had to pack all of my makeup. So some makeup from Project Pans did get put back in my main makeup collection, and this unfortunately was one of them. So this is the shade Fudge from the Subculture palette from ABH, and as you can see, it's a really nice neutral shade. It's a neutral brown. It'll go with pretty much anything, and I only use this 3 times, unfortunately, but I was really excited to use it because I knew that it wouldn't be too difficult to use. And this is what it looks like today. I'm hoping you're going to be able to see at least some use on this, but when I looked at my list for Pan Those Eyeshadows, I was a little bit disappointed because I knew I could have got so much more use on this. Not good. Not good at all. Yep, not the best. This is the shade Fudge up here. It's a really, really nice shade. I've really liked using it. Again, 3 uses, not the absolute best, but this again went really, really well with Fudge, and it was one of the reasons why I rolled in Fudge last month, because I knew that these two would go together so well. And yeah, only 3 times. However, I think it's going to be a really, really good focus shade for the coming month, just because it's so easy. It's so easy, it's so neutral. I do go to an office every now and then, so normal, like, neutral makeup I like to wear to the office. Obviously, you can wear anything to the office, but you get in your comfort zones, don't you? And also, this is going to go amazing with That's Taupe, which again is my brand new Pan That palette. If you didn't see my Pan That palette update, I would definitely go and recommend that, because a lot of changes were made in this month's update. So yeah, I'm really excited, and I'm really excited to work on this palette as a whole. I have included this palette in quite a few videos recently, and I've really loved playing with it. I think it's such a beautiful palette, and yeah, now that I've remembered that this is in a project, I can put it in my panning drawers and I can actually use it. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought? But yeah, just 3 uses, not the best at all. And I'm gonna move swiftly on to the 4th and final shade in this project. This is a random single eyeshadow. I love to roll in random singles because a lot of the time my single eyeshadow palette collection gets very neglected, and I just don't want it sat there gathering dust, so I always like to randomize a shade for Those Eyeshadows. And this is the Revolution Maxi Reloaded shade number 9. You can see what this looked like last month. I'd only had 1 use on it last month, which was not the best. It had been in for 2 months at this point, and we did have a little bit of use on it if you really like squinted. And this is what it looks like today. I have used it 2 times this month for a total of 3 uses. So again, not the best, but still better than the last few months, and I am indeed wearing this today as well. I use this as a first shade, like a first deepening shade, and then of course used fade to fade it out. But this is what it looks like, very distorted, is that the word? Like disturbed. It's not the same as a usual eyeshadow because I have repressed it into here, so it looks very different to the normal eyeshadow usage. This is very like bumpy and chunky, but you know what? It's fine. It's use nonetheless, and I'm happy with this use. I think it's really good use. This swatches so badly. Here we go. Can you see that there? Just about. It's not the best quality shade in the world at all, and it's one of those shades that I like having it in my collection, but even when I was putting it on my eyes today, I just kind of realized it wasn't the best. I do like to keep these kind of shades in my collection for BYOP reasons rather than actual use reasons, which I know some people might not like because technically they're not there to be used, but for me it's a really big part of my content. I love doing BYOPs, so I like to have lots of different colours of singles, even if I don't use them very much. But this has been used a little bit, which is great. I'm happy with this usage, and it will be continuing in this project pan, and I think that's good. You know, not the best, but considering the month that I've had, I think that's really good. Alrighty then, so I'm gonna pull out my Carnival XL Pro again, and that means we're gonna roll in a brand new shade from this palette. I love how this palette is looking, but like I said, there's a lot of use on this side, not much use on this side. So I was thinking, what is a shade that I would like to use that's not too warm toned, that can work with some cool tone shades that I still quite like? And I thought about this shade, Orchid. So this is like one of those blue to purple duochromes. I don't really work on the shimmers of this palette a whole lot. I'm not a fan of the shimmers. I'm like an indie stan. I love shimmery. I'm wearing an indie shade today, like shimmery, duochromy, in your face kind of shimmers. These shimmers are nice. They're fine. They're pretty good, but they're not on the indie level, you know what I mean. So yeah, I think Orchid can be a really good shade to use. Let me swatch this shade with the color story. I think this is going to be a really good addition to this color story. Look at this. I think this is so fun. I think this purple is going to go with that blue iridescent shade really well. I think it's going to go with this brown as well really well. Maybe not this green, but who knows? Maybe I'll do a green and purple look. I don't know. Normally I do come on here with different looks that I've done, but I've just been so bad this month at taking pictures of different looks. I'm sure you can let me off, as I've said. It's been a really rough month this month, but I'm back on it. I've got a little bit of a cold now, but other than that, I'm absolutely good to go. I'm fine. I'm getting there anyway, so hopefully next month I can have a lot of really nice looks to share with you. I'm gonna really try and focus on that. I'm gonna really make that a priority to take pictures of looks because I need to do it again. It's getting bad. So what shade do you think I will hit pan on next month? Let me know all your thoughts and opinions down below. I'd love to know. I always love reading your comments. I think that this is going to be so much fun to pan. I'm really, really excited. And this is a shade I wouldn't normally gravitate towards, but I'm really excited about. So this is it. This is where I'm going to love you and leave you today, guys. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, give me a like, give me a subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow for a brand new video. Bye bye!